Wow! Hello everybody. I've got a live studio audience in front of me today. My name is Damian Pelliccione, aka or hashtag your gay media guru. I want to welcome my first fabulous live studio audience to this week's edition of Boys in Tech. Thank you guys so much for being here. Who was watching you? Like, so you guys both locked eyes with different celebrities. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, you know, when we walked into our spotlight, behind me, I guess, was Katy Perry. So DeAndre was having his moment where he was trying to not cry.
Yeah, I was trying to fight tears as my niece had just sent me this really heartfelt text before we walked out, and I was trying to hold it back, and I saw her, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she just was like,
started tearing up.
Oh, no, don't do that, please don't do that.
So he began boo-hooing, and so then I'm like, oh gosh, I promised myself I wasn't gonna be a bubbling fool on television. So I tried to look away from him, and when I looked away from him, I caught eyes with Paul McCartney.
Is your dog a tad overweight? Fido can't fetch so well anymore? Doggy liposuction a little out of your price range? Well, I found the perfect answer to getting bougie in perfect shape. FitBark is a tiny, smart activity monitor that helps you understand your dog's health and behavior in a way that was never available before. Monitor her progress and take action where appropriate. How is she feeling? How many activity bark points is she getting today? How is she reacting to a life-changing event? FitBark gives you breed-specific guidelines so you can see where she stands compared to the other dogs. You can also share her activity report and keep others posted on how she's progressing. FitBark also inputs from your human fitness tracker if it has an API. They say that dogs sometimes look like their owners. Well, there's no reason why they can't be as active as their owners. FitBark retails for $69 and is available on fitbark.com. Kudos to you for being, you came out very early on at the beginning of your career. And, back in the 80s and 90s, it was
Actually, I didn't really come out.
You didn't really come out?
I mean, I was living in New York. Obviously, my boyfriend knew I was gay. And my friends knew what I was, but it wasn't general knowledge.
It wasn't public eye.
My sister did an interview for Advocate magazine and outed me.
Oh, really?
Without telling me. So I was kind of kicked out of the closet.
What year was that? When did that happen?
Was it like 86, 87?
86. What was that like? What did you feel? Like, what was that
I was very angry.
Very angry.
Well, because my family didn't know. My grandmother didn't need to know. There are people who don't need to know these things.
Of course, of course. And again, and that time period, it was very different. There was the onset of like AIDS and everything else that was happening. So it must have been very difficult for you. But
it was annoying getting calls from National Enquirer. That was annoying.
Wow.
But it is what it is.
What about you, JC?
My favorite line in the season is not one that I wrote. It's in episode 3, and Dom and Lynn are in the bathhouse, and Lynn is describing what the bathhouse used to be like, and he has this great line that says, "It was really fun, and then it wasn't." And I feel like that's such a beautiful way of summing up so much of what gay people went through, and I think it also perfectly encapsulates the way our show deals with like gay history and gay culture.
Definitely.
It's like a very simple way of expressing it, but also really profound and I think beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's so many scenes that I like, but I think in the pilot there's a scene where Richie and Patrick meet on the train that I particularly like, and I don't know if there's a line, but Richie says pretty blue eyes drink 2 for 1, and I just love the way that Raul performed that and the way that he and Jonathan perform that scene, and just I think it's so exciting the way that paths can cross in the city and you can go down this path that you just never saw yourself going down, and if you're willing to take that chance. And so that's one of my favorite scenes in the series.
Is your smartphone GPS not always accurate, correct, or as efficient as you'd like it to be? I live in Los Angeles, where traffic is literally my living nightmare. Until I recently discovered the Waze app. Get the best route every day with real-time help from online drivers with the Waze app. Waze is the world's largest community-based traffic and navigation app. Join other drivers in your area who share real-time traffic and road info, saving everyone time, gas money on their daily commute. Your friends are just around the corner with the Waze app. See other friends also driving in your destination when you connect to Facebook. Coordinate everyone's arrival times when you pick up or meet up with friends. Now you're effortlessly in sync when you drive together. Waze is free and available on Windows, Google, iTunes app storefronts for free. So this is Boys in Tech, and we obviously love to talk about tech. And the big elephant in the room, I've been dying to ask you this question because I've read multiple articles about this. You recently deleted your Twitter account. And I'm sure, you know, fans across the nation are wondering, is there any particular reason as to why you cut the cord, Jeff?
Yes, procrastination. I was finding that it was a very bad source of procrastination. I would probably get a Twitter account if I didn't have to work 100 hours a week.
Totally.
But I consider myself a sort of Twitter lurker. I like to see what MTV Teen Wolf Twitter is tweeting about. I like to see, sometimes we watch the feed when the show is airing.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, for a writer in Hollywood, for someone who has to work so many hours, Twitter is a pretty bad source of procrastination.
Hey, I'm Damian Pelliccione, aka your gay media guru. Tune in to Boys in Tech, the internet's only weekly talk show devoted to discussing the gay side of what's trendy on the web. Boys in Tech will review the coolest apps, products, and toys titillating the geekiest gay boy in our weekly segment, Gays, Gadgets, and Gizmos. We'll also feature some of the web's hottest out celebs, creators, and cutting-edge innovators to join us in our Hollywood studio.